Welcome to another Startup King Small Business Lecture Series, this one on government contracting. And today we're talking about local and state contracting set-asides. Once again, please subscribe to be notified of any upcoming videos. This video, as you can see, is a part of a series, 5 parts on government contracting. And specifically, we're talking about set-asides, local and state government. So what are set-asides? We're going to give you a very quick summary, but if you're interested in learning more, please watch our first lecture on this series, Overview of Government Set-asides. Here are the basics. Government set-asides are set by city, county, state, and federal agencies and other quasi-government agencies, and they're designed to provide opportunities to those who are socially, economically, and geographically disadvantaged. How this works is that a percentage of government contracts are literally allocated or set aside for qualified and certified businesses. So if a county in one of the states in America has $1 million budget, the legislator or the executive can determine that it will set aside 10% of its procurement award dollars to a local owned business or a woman owned business or a minority owned business, whatever it may be. It's important to keep in mind that these set asides are not just for those classified as minorities. They can be size based, they can be location based, or they can be race or gender based. They are designed essentially to provide an advantage to the little guy or gal that owns a business, a small business. And they exist on for all types of procurement projects needed by the government, including things like construction, cybersecurity, purchasing cars, anything really. One thing that we have to define is what we mean by local and state. So what's included? Local and state. Well, state is state. Whatever the geographic boundary of the state determines what that jurisdiction is. So there are really no tricks to it. There's no complexities. However, when we say local, that includes multiple types of jurisdictions, including cities, villages, townships, really any type of small entity that governs itself and has procurement needs. And then, of course, the county. County is also included as local. Both local and state also can sometimes interact with other entities, quasi-government entities, such as airports and utility agencies, like where you get your electricity or water. These entities, including airports, may have their own government procurement departments and set-asides, or they may share and honor and recognize those from local and state entities. Examples of local government set-asides. Now, it's very important to know what types of set-asides locally are available, because as a small business owner, you want to try and take advantage of them. Local set-asides are literally business that is set aside for local businesses, local small businesses. So if you are in a specific county, the county can determine a specific number of a specific percentage of procurement contracts from that county must go to local counties. And of course, this is popular with the residents and voters of those counties. A drawback may be that other states and other jurisdictions, because there's preferential treatment given to local businesses of X county, it kind of creates a disadvantage for businesses located in Y county. So Y county may decide to not have favorable status against businesses in X county. Specific examples, and these are real examples of set-asides that are named: local business enterprise, development enterprise zones. These are specific zones that are located in each jurisdiction that provide special business or tax possibly advantages. There are resident-owned businesses, long-time resident businesses, and this is an effort by a jurisdiction to want to provide more incentive and more favor to residents that have lived longer in those jurisdictions and provide them more business. There's local manufacturing business enterprises. Of course, that may be created by a local jurisdiction because they want to create a robust manufacturing environment in their jurisdiction. So they'll provide more incentives for local businesses to perform manufacturing. And of course, local set aside, city, county, whatever it may be, also tend to recognize things like women-owned business enterprises, minority business enterprises, veteran business enterprises, and so on. However, local and city, county, whatever they may be, jurisdictions tend to only certify location-based businesses themselves and leave the other types of set-aside certifications to other entities. Examples of state government set-asides. Again, it's important to have a good understanding of what types of set-asides are out there, because when you're searching for a specific jurisdiction, it's good to know what is available and what you should look for. State set-asides include things like a small business reserve, which is a statewide set aside for just a small business. There are micro businesses. Certain states have um, set asides for not just a small business, but for example, a business that only makes $1 million annually, or maybe $500,000 annually. And of course, there are special set asides set for those types of businesses. Of course, we have women business enterprises, minority business enterprises, veteran business enterprises, which, although recognized by state entities, are always federally certified by the Department of Veterans Affairs. There are disadvantaged business enterprises, and this is one of the examples that we referred to earlier, airport concessions, disadvantaged business enterprises, because some states have specific agreements with airports to provide specific contracts to small businesses as airport concession vendors. Now, of course, as you see, state set-asides are primarily based on size or gender and race, and not necessarily based on location, because a state really only has one location. It's the entirety of the state. We should talk about who certifies local and state government set-asides. Based on size, whether it's regular small, really small, or also known as micro, the state is typically takes the initiative to be responsible for state and for size certifications for set-asides. Location-based set-asides, as we discussed, are typically at the local level, city or county. And then there are gender or race-based set-asides that are certified either by the state, a third party, or of course the federal government. And we'll talk a little bit more about this on the next presentation, the next lecture, which is on federal government contracting set-aside examples. The next steps for small business owners wishing to pursue set-asides in local or state jurisdictions. You think you might be qualified. What you have to do is search for set-asides in your city, county, or state governments. Basically type the agency name and procurement set-asides. And that usually is a good way of giving you some type of target to be able to email or call and ask for specific lists of set-asides. Most jurisdictions have all this information available online. Some may be more helpful than others. Of course, if you're qualified, you should definitely start with the applications. You could do the applications yourself. Chances are you will make some mistakes, but state employees and local county employees are also there to help. However, it may take a little bit longer, so you may wish to hire a professional who does this on a regular basis. Or, of course, you can feel free to message us and ask for help. Once again, please subscribe to be notified of our upcoming videos. If you have any ideas on videos, please let us know. We try to make this content as helpful as possible for small business owners. Here are some ways to reach us on LinkedIn, on Amazon, to purchase the Startup King. Of course, you can search Bear Afghami on the YouTube channel and be directed to this channel to see all our videos, on Reddit. And of course, if you'd like to be added to our monthly newsletter, which only goes out once a month, please message us to be added.